If you look at businesses today, they are, especially the supply chain arena where we play in, businesses are complex, global, intertwined supply chains. Most manufacturing companies would at least rely on more than 50 markets in terms of being able to source and produce their end products. Companies will focus on total cost in terms of where it's cheapest to produce something, looking at labor cost, they will look at transportation cost, and really factor that in. But in terms of the risk and the risk for disruption is often neglected. That's why we start building this capability now that we can also then share with SME customers that have less resources really to put this process in place themselves. Having a holistic risk management has become even more important with how supply chains have developed over the years. If you work in a proactive manner with risk, companies can see that they can actually benefit from that versus their competition. It's all about being able to have that service performance very high. It's something that we have been trying to understand how you can work, put methodologies and tools in place to really be able to do that for our customers. You need a tool in place to basically map and visualize your global supply chain, work with different data layers in terms of your risk exposure, but also not just to look at sort of your risk exposure, but be able to monitor incidents in a near real-time manner. Looking at what technologies and innovations are in place in other areas can be used for your risk management. You can, for example, look at cloud-based solution, sourcing of information, how can social media be used to understand situations in different markets and how the political landscape maybe are changing. So Twitter is a good example where a lot of information can be extracted if you have the right technologies. It also kind of requires to look at probabilities and the probability of having a failure for a certain supplier. And that probability factor can be a part of your total cost calculation. The bigger scale you have, the more resources overhead you probably have to put aside to something like this. We take the customer view. We understand that DHL has a great part in many customer supply chain. So we will be taking a long-term view and really continuously working on business continuity management, for example. The landscape of a customer changes a lot. They will have new suppliers in place, they will have new products, they will start sourcing from different markets. And therefore, to continuously working with risk and continuously assessing the risk is something that is very important.